It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like. Okay then, it's just me playing it quite well actually. There was one good thing that came out, well I say one very noteworthy good thing that came out of that stupidly, ridiculously insane, massive series of updates for Gran Turismo 6. And that good thing was this, the Sierra Time Rally game mode thing. You have a 27-mile long circuit somewhere in Spain, Sierra something, whatever. It's very pretty. And it's unusually arcade-like for Gran Turismo, but in a way that really works. The physics and the visuals and the driving and everything are what you would expect from Gran Turismo. They're gorgeous and, to my brain, realistic, and a lot of fun. But you have the circuit, the 27 miles, is split into 12 stages, and for each stage there is a time limit. You can see it counting down there. You get points for how far you travel. You get points for every car that you pass, and every time you pass a car you get 1 second added to your time limit. You get points, and you get this combo multiplier thing. You can see it there. I've passed 7 cars, it's multiplying by 1.7 times. I initially thought that multiplier multiplied my score at the very end, and I think actually it does. But it's also multiplying my score now as I go along, I believe. So the higher your multiplier, the more you score. However, if you run off of the track in any significant amount, or for any significant amount of time, if you bump into the barriers at the side, or if you bump into one of the cars more than just a very gentle tap, if you shunt them, your multiplier is wiped out. You go back to 0 and you got to start again. What that means is the scoring, you see on the right there, you've got your trophies, your target score from 600,000, 800,000, 1 million to get the gold trophy, and for that you get a load of money, and if you get the gold you get a car. In this case you get a VW Scirocco. On the earlier mode, whatever difficulty level, you get you're in and you win a Fiat 500 Abarth, which is pretty cool. And on the hardest one you're in a Ferrari 288 GTO. So here you are on this circuit. It's a very long circuit. Memorizing it, yeah, fat chance, unless you play it a hell of a lot. The cars always appear in, your opponent cars always appear in the same place each time, more or less. I mean, your where you are when you come across them will be different, but they're all in the same order. You'll come across them in more or less the same place if you race at more or less the same pace. So the thing is, the time limit is really quite tight. The number of times you'll see it on this video where I'm approaching the checkpoint and it's counting down because I'm on my last 10 seconds. It's pretty seat of the pants stuff. You've got to go like the clappers. But you really want to keep your multiplier, because you need the multiplier to get those 600,000, 800,000, 1 million. You got to have a really good multiplier. You get other bonuses, like you get the bonus for passing the car. You get a bonus. There are some speed checkpoints where you get a bonus depending how fast you are going through the speed checkpoint thing. You also get a bonus for how many seconds you've got left remaining after you finish the race. But basically, you got to go like the clappers to get through the checkpoint. But if you go like the clappers, you're likely to hit something, and if you hit something you lose your multiplier. And that makes for very tense racing. I mean, it makes it like proper racing, really. You got to go fast, you mustn't hit something. Because I mean, the way I play Gran Turismo very often, and I don't play it online a whole lot, where on there I believe they play properly, you know, don't hit the other cars. Playing it offline, here I would have just gone barreling past him, and if I'd hit him, who cares? But I want to keep my multiplier, so it's like, back off, wait until there's a gap. And you've got nitrous oxide, so you can pass them quite quickly if you've got a gap. But it's that, do I hold back and pass when there's a gap? Or do I go for it? Because time is short. You can't afford to hold back very often, but you can't afford to hit them. Tense, really tense. And when you get up to like say stage 10 or 11 or 12, you're really on the edge of your seat, because you know you're on the absolute limits of how much time you've got left, but you can't hit one of them. And it's fantastic. The balance is bang on. I can do it. I did it. I mean, I'm giving the game away now. I did it here. I did a perfect race in that I kept my multiplier from start to finish and got through in the time limit. My score, you will see at the end. Target score is 1 million. Only one other person on my friends list had done this at that time, at the time that I recorded this, and that was Shotgun Boy. You can see his score, you can see my score, you'll see it at the end. I'm very pleased with it. So that is this. It is the Sierra Time Rally on Gran Turismo 6. It is brilliant. I mean, I loathe the whole system update thing, and really, they could have made a whole standalone game like Gran Turismo Arcade, kind of completely separate game, just with this concept. Say this circuit and maybe, I don't know, 3 or 5 or 10 other circuits, 3 difficulty levels on each, you know, with a different car or whatever. And that would have, I think, it would have stood up as a standalone game in its own right. It's that good. I mean, it is arcade-like, but it's arcade-like in the scoring as opposed to the physics. And the time limit. I mean, I loathe time limits in most racing games, or in most games full stop. Hate them. But in here, no, it makes sense. It gives you a sense of urgency. It makes you go fast. It means you don't just plod along and sit behind them and wait for your moment. You've got to go for it. Yeah, brilliant. The concept of it is fantastic, and if it wasn't for the massive, stupid number of updates, I would have said, yeah, I'm really glad they did this. I just wish they'd done it, you know, separately, something. Anyway, that's that. Other things to talk about, since this is a kind of... It's sort of a review, it's sort of a drive and waffle. And I have got something else I want to talk about. You will have noticed things on my channel are a little bit different. I've not actually done a whole lot of retro stuff lately because I was concentrating on the VR thing. And I've got one more VR thing that I want to talk about. And ordinarily, all of that I would have put onto my Benway's World channel. It's just that I've not been doing an awful lot of gaming because I've been distracted with that, and I want to give you something to watch, and maybe the people who are like staunch retro only people will be a bit ticked off. In fact, I know some people are, because thumbs down, but anyway, too bad. And as you know as well, the Friday talkie is gone, but I'm stealing an idea from Emma Blackery here. Friday Q&A. I'm not bringing back the Friday talkie, but I am going to do a Q&A every Friday. So in comments on YouTube, I suppose you could do it on, leave me messages on Facebook. You can ask me questions. Now, I don't mean technical stuff. If it's something you can Google yourself, Google it yourself. I'm not going to Google it for you. But, you know, if it's like, what's your favourite this, or what do you think of that? If it's something that I find interesting and I have an answer for, just like in comments, normally, You know, if I can answer something and it's interesting, I answer it. If it's just nonsense, I don't. Yeah, so if you want to ask me a question for me to answer on Friday, leave a comment and begin your comment with "for Friday," and then ask your question. If it doesn't say "for Friday," I'll just look at it and answer it in comments. But if you put "for Friday," and if it's something I can answer and I have an opinion on or thoughts on or seems appropriate or whatever, I will then on Fridays answer all those questions. There you are. I don't quite know what I will call this show on Friday. I guess it'll just be the Friday Q&A. Yeah, because I know people like to watch a talky type video on Friday, and I had it was just getting really hard to find subjects to talk about, original stuff that it's kind of like I've said it all already. So that's that. Here we go, we're getting near the end now. Here I was so tense, my head was nearly exploding. I mean, I had a headache after this because I was rigid. I was so tense because it was so, oh my god, I've got to get to the end here and I'm going to run out of time and there's all these cars and I might hit them. And the further along you get, the more, I don't know, they're not really more challenging to pass, but when you get them in little groups of cars like this, it's like, well, damn, do I go on the inside or the outside? This is a sod. See the counter going down? There, it doesn't show me past the finish, but rest assured, I passed the finish. There's my score. 1,435,258. Sorry, shotgun boy, but I just ripped your score to pieces. Yeah, it's brilliant. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the thumbs up button. I upload videos daily, so go ahead and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more. To all those who've already subscribed, I'd just like to say a great big thank you.